Hey guys, Abner Miranda here. Welcome out to the range. Wanted to do a quick video for you guys to really just put something in perspective for you. I've been getting a lot of questions recently, which tells me that there's a new influx of shooters into the industry that have basic questions that to me are a foregone conclusion, and yet I think to myself, yeah, but it's not their fault that they don't know. And the fact that they're asking, I mean, kudos to them that they feel comfortable to ask, so cool. The biggest question that I'm getting is, what is your AR-15 of choice? And okay, and I often tell people it's between a 7.5 and a 16, and they're like, well, come on. And I go, guys, that's not an apples to apples and oranges to oranges question. That actually is an apples and oranges question. You're never just dealing with one thing or dealing with another thing. I have difficulty in quantifying this because I want to put this in a manner that people can understand, and sometimes I kind of go off into the weeds and I lose people. It basically goes like this, guys. You have to look at it from the standpoint of, well, actually, this is a question that I always ask. What is your intention? And they say, oh, home defense. And I'm like, that's easy. 11.5, 11.3, 10.5. If you're talking straight up home defense, you're talking short-barreled rifle or AR-15 pistol right down the middle, okay? If you're talking what I did here, which is CQB and mid-range, mid to long range. Mid-range from a military standpoint, this is barely mid-range. Frankly, I think this is still considered CQB at 75 or 80 yards or even 100 yards. I'm not military, so I'm just kind of going on to the things that I've picked up from other people. But from a civilian standpoint, a 70 or 80 yard shot, dude, that's a long shot. And so what I say to people is, if you're talking vehicle defense, home defense, then you're talking about a shorty. 7.5s, they're loud. That has to be taken into account. Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion, and I've actually had those discussions. I tend to kind of loom in the this is an 11.3, and I tend to kind of loom in that 11.3 range. I like it because at 11.3 versus 10.3, I am hovering in somewhere in the window of 40% more dwell time out of an 11.3 than I am out of a 10.3, all because of that scant little extra inch. It does make a difference. In fact, I can tell when I shoot this gun versus the 10.3 that there is a difference. This gun is not good for vehicle defense. It is a nightmare for vehicle defense, especially if you're wearing armor. You would have to collapse your stock, which this gun was never meant to be fired like this. This is actually its storage mode. This is incorrect body mechanics for this gun. It doesn't work properly. Most especially with an optic this low on the top rail. This, by the way, is a mini ACOG. I'll do a review. The proper way to shoot an AR-15 is with the proper length of pull. So when you get on the gun, that feels correct to me. I give up something by doing that. I give up a lot of mobility inside of a vehicle. I give up mobility inside of the tight confines of a structure. But I have mid-range to / long-range accuracy. So the question that people like to ask, well, if you could only have one AR-15, what would it be? Guys, that's a loaded question. Now, what is a very simple question is, if I could only have one handgun, what would it be? Well, that's easy. It'd be a Glock 17. Specifically a Glock 17 Gen 3, or I will stretch out and I will say a Glock 17 Gen 5. Let me see if I can actually pull this off. Oh, I should go home right now. Okay, like I said, 70 or 80 yards, because 100 yards is right over there. 70 or 80 yards where I'm standing, handgun shot. I love Glock 17s. They are so capable, especially with a good set of sights. These are Proctor Y-notch sights, and they give me a level of precision that allows me to do that on the fly. And with all honesty, if I can see you at a moderate distance, I can probably smack you with a Glock. I can smack you a lot more efficiently with a long gun. And I've done this stuff with a 7.5 inch all the way out to like 200 and 300 yards without a problem. And by the way, guys, the limitation of the human eye magnified optics, in my estimation. Let me be very specific. My limitations without optics is 300 yards to be able to clearly identify you. I'm getting more and more comments from people, which tells me that a lot of you out here have purchased a gun and don't really know which way to go with it. And I say to you, today is November 2nd. Tomorrow are the general elections. Guys, let's see where we go after the general elections, and let's see which direction America is going to be going. I've got a lot of wisdom that I want to share with people. Remember, guys, even if we end up with an anti-gun president, it doesn't mean that it's a done deal. Okay? Well, I'll stop right there. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out and practice. Have a good one.